Hello, YouTube fam. Get ready for an amazing video experience. It's a pleasure to have you join us as we uncover the secrets of Bardas Skleros. Bardas Skleros, Greek, or Sclerus, was a Byzantine general who led a wide-scale Asian rebellion against Emperor Basil II during the years 976 to 979. In the following section, we'll be immersing ourselves in the captivating world of background. Bardas belonged to the great family of the Skleroi, which owned enormous estates at the eastern outskirts of Asia Minor. His mother Gregoria descended from Basil I's brother Bardas. The greatest coup of his early career was a brilliant defense of Constantinople against the army of Sviatoslav I of Kiev in 970. During the Battle of Arcadiopolis, he reportedly managed to inflict as many as 20,000 casualties on the Rus, while the campaign claimed the lives of merely 25 Byzantine soldiers. After he had shown himself equal to dealing with the fiercest enemies of Byzantium, Bardas became a trusted advisor to John Itzimisk, who was his brother-in-law and a fellow Armenian. Upon John's death, Sclerus aspired to replace him as an acting emperor. The eunuch Basil Lecapenos, who actually led the imperial government, entertained other plans, however, dismissing Bardas from his key post of general in the east in 976. According to Michael Psellos, Sclerus was a man who was not only a competent planner, but extremely clever in carrying out his schemes, possessed of vast wealth no mean asset in one who aimed at a throne, with the prestige of royal blood and of success in great wars, with all the military caste at his side to help on his enterprise. Get ready to immerse yourself in the world of rebellion as we examine its impact and relevance. Upon hearing the news of his deposition, Sclerus came to an agreement with local Armenian, Georgian, and even Muslim rulers who all vowed to support his claims to the imperial crown. He successfully stirred up rebellion among his relatives and adherents in the Asian provinces, rapidly making himself master of Caesarea, Antioch, and most of Asia Minor. After several navy commanders defected to Sclerus's side, he dashed to Constantinople, threatening to blockade the Dardanelles. The rebel navy under Michael Quartitius raided the Aegean and attempted to blockade the Dardanelles, but were defeated by the imperial fleet under the command of Theodoros Corintonos. Having lost supremacy at sea, Sclerus at once laid siege to the town of Nick, which was considered a key to the capital. The town was fortified by a certain Manuel Eroticus Komnenos, father of the future Emperor Isaac Komnenos and progenitor of the Komneni dynasty. Meanwhile, Basil recalled from exile Bardas Phocas the Younger, a general who had revolted in the previous reign and been interned in a monastery for 7 years. Phocas proceeded to Sebaste in the east, where his family domestics were situated. He came to an understanding with David I Kuripalates of Tao, who pledged 12,000 Georgian horsemen under the command of Tourniquets to Phocas' aid. Sclerus instantly left Nick for the east and defeated Phocas in 2 battles, but the latter was victorious in a third. On March 24, 979, the 2 leaders clashed in single combat, with Sclerus cutting the right ear of Phocas' horse with his lance before sustaining a grave wound to the head. The rumor of his death put his army to flight, but Sclerus himself found shelter with his Muslim allies. Thereupon the rebellion was subdued without difficulty. Brace yourself for an enlightening exploration of later years as we dive into its profound implications. After that, Asian potentates refused to support his further operations against Constantinople, Sclerus and his family retreated to Baghdad in 980. They resided in honorable captivity at the Abbasid Caliph's court for 6 years, dreaming about the invasion of Byzantium. In 987, Sclerus was finally recalled to his homeland by Phocas, who took advantage of the Bulgarian wars to aim at the crown. Sclerus promptly mustered an army to support Phocas's cause, but his plans of profiting from the attendant disorders were frustrated when Phocas had him committed to prison. Upon Phocas' death at the Battle of Abydos 989, Sclerus succeeded him as the leader of the rebellion, The truth was, the men who had enrolled in Sclerus's army were no longer divided in their loyalties. Every one of them was a declared rebel. Their leader inspired them with his own resolute determination and bound them into one coherent body. By favors he won their loyalty, by his kindlings he earned their devotion. He reconciled their differences, ate at the same table as his men, drank from the same cup, called them by name, and by his flattery bound them to his allegiance. Michael Psellos. The date of his surrender to the authorities is disputed, as are the circumstances. In 991 Sclerus, a blinded and broken man, then residing in semi-captivity in Thrace, was visited by Emperor Basil II on his way to Bulgaria. The famous rebel accepted the title of Corpulates and died several days later, presumably on April 2. Brace yourself for a deep dive into descendants as we explore its impact and relevance in our evolving narrative. The bloodline of Bardas Skleros continued, however. A grandson, Basil Skleros, was married to a sister of Emperor Romanus III. One of Basil's nieces married Constantine Monomachos, who would become emperor, while Basil's grandniece became mistress of Constantine. One of these women was the grandmother of Vladimir Monomach. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your support and I'll see you in the next video.